run it back. Hello? That's the Jag calling. Let me click over real quick to let my Jag talk it. I eat, ooh, Pac-Man, that's the way my neck talking. Right? I ain't never coming back the way the stress. You don't make no clap back when you backpack, my bad, but I'm past that with a NASDAQ. That's cash when the money fall, I'ma slap that. Clap when the money go, you don't slap. That's facts. If the money low, I'ma grab brown man. When it come back, I'ma give back my bad. When the check hit, the direct hit, I'm glad. When the check missed the direct hit, I'm sad. Like, who's that knocking at my window? They say that it's the money, I'm like tenfold. Over and out. That's gon' make you up like a limbo. She said she not a, she an. Why you do that like that? It's a lot of money. Why are you mad like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag, my bad. You ain't getting too bad, my bad. Yeah. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Ay. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Friday, payday, run it back. Ay. Run it back, run it back, run it back. 48 yards, I run it back. Ay. I cop a car, I run it back. Yeah. Go your then run it back.
How fit to be the boss? Let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. I'm a star.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us at the foot of the Rockies, just west of downtown Denver at Empower Field at Mile High. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Denver Broncos. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And not a particularly good return here as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Go now, 70, Indy.
A first carry from Leonard Fournette. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
To throw on second down, Lawrence under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Aaron Donald in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This is brought in at the 21. Officially, that'll be a 63-yard punt. Well done. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it 1st and 10 now out past the 20. Here's Darnold. Under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down. Finding his way home for the sack that time, Taven Bryan.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And from the 15, they're able to work this up to the 20 for a pickup of a handful.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
51's the mic. 51's the mic. Let's go, D. Big series right here. So we got to step it up.
Lady.
Throwing here on third down. Darnold nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week, and we just saw their first one of this game.
This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines.
Let's go.
Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
It's our field. It's our field. Hey, it's our house. Big edge, big edge, big edge.
Then he'll give it here to his running back. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
We got set.
44's Mike. Check, check. You go night, night. You go night, night.
Darnold on third down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on third.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
We got set.
The mic. 44's the mic.
I'm on. You better bring it.
Hey,
Lady.
switch gears.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
2nd and 10 at the 26-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10.
Check. Crunch. 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 You go tight. You got tight.
Now Darnold going for it all. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Robbie Anderson, the man he was looking for. But now it's 3rd down. This is going to be a good one-on-one battle to watch. Both of these guys play the game at the highest level.
Both of them are terrific competitors. They play the game with great athleticism and smarts as well.
And in this early round, the defense wins. They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10.
Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping. Check 24. Check 24.
Pick the edge, pick the edge.
A shotgun snap for Darnold. And that is incomplete. The linebacker, Miles Jack, able to knock that one away.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front seven? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a very good return, but a penalty marker is down. I'm not sure what this is going to be. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10.
Watch twins. Watch twins.
Operating from the gun, Lawrence. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Oh, free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Second and long. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Lawrence. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Terry. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. This is Josh Lambo. He hit from 57 a year ago. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. So it's not an NFL record, but it's not far off. That'll go in the books as a 61-yard field goal.
And wasn't it weird to see a guy line up for a field goal on the other side of midfield? The ball got halfway there, and you thought, no way is that going to make it, but it just kept carrying and carrying, and he winds up sneaking it right over the bar.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. A running play here on 1st down is going to go nowhere as he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
Hey, Team 6. Team 6. Mike, 44 is Mike. Check. You can't block me. You can't block me.
Now on 2nd and 13. Darnold. And Anderson's got it. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 23 yards the pickup there.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
You must be getting tired of seeing me.
On 1st down, they'll run it on the draw play. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. These two teams all tied after one. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Back to you. Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship.
From the 50, it's Darnold. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 23.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. To throw is Darnold. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Darnold. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end. And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. 2nd and 10. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Let's go.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Recon, 132 fighter.
From the gun, Lawrence. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. And that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
McManus's point after is good, and the lead is now 10-3. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And to no one's surprise here in Denver, that'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Now a run on 1st down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3. Chandler, the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Operating from the gun, Lawrence. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
The Jaguars on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is going to be 3rd and 13. From the gun, Lawrence. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Gets by him, and now a little daylight. There he goes, right side. And all the way home for a Broncos score. What a run. 79 yards on the punt return. And the Broncos able to show off their quick strike ability.
When you've got a guy that fast back there to receive punts, that's a nightmare for the guy game planning, the special teams coach. But it's also a nightmare for the punter. Sometimes they get so nervous that they mishit the ball and kick it right to him.
Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead is now 17-3. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Lawrence looking for his running back, and he's got it. It's a gain of 7, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
We saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, as it turned out. Couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. From the gun, Lawrence. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Chandler. And this is going to be another 1st down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 39.
Good route, good pickup for 1st down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
Second and 10 at the 39-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They run the counter. Chandler, and that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as he rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And the return will stop him well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. He'll have a first down and more past the 20. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A big play there. 95 yards. And the Broncos push further out in front. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again, and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
McManus's point after is good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I remember
I was going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Lawrence. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. A 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. Now that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize it is broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
On 3rd down, Lawrence. Open man is Westbrook, complete. And he'll be brought down, but a tip of the cap on the spin move as that gives him a first down. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Lawrence. The open man is Westbrook. And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Check 50, check 50. Lady.
Here's Darnold. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Off-play action, Lawrence. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Terry. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. Give them 32 on the play. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10.
Whip. Hey, Sam off.
Now Leonard Fournette. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Kendall Fuller in on the stop.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Ready? 53, check 53. Let's go, D, tighten up. Let's go.
From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
They still playing soccer. Y'all playing the wrong football.
From the gun, Lawrence. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. It's a foot race. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Now McManus for the extra point. Oh, how about this? No good. Just his 2nd miss of the year, and our score will stay right where it is. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And not a particularly good return here as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bump.
Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Yannick Ngakoue. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Back to throw. Lawrence. And it's incomplete, broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
Ready up. 53 is the mic. Here we go.
After the penalty, it's Fournette. And he'll take this one up to about the 23. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
2nd and 4. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
A gain of 15. 1st down, Jaguars.
This quarterback now 10 of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Lawrence. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
I got one.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. Looking to throw. Lawrence. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 47. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here.
Where you at? Who's that? Is that yours? Who's that?
After the interception, here's Darnold. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Only a yard on the completion. It's 2nd and goal.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal.
She runs. SOS. Red 80. Watch the safety creep. Watch the twist. Young lady. Hey, Echo.
And Darnold just beating the play clock. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown of the game, 10th on the year. And the Broncos use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be out of bounds here just past the 20-yard line.
The Jaguars take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Off the play fake. Lawrence. On the crossing route, complete. It's Terry. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A gain there of 21 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Ready. 60 outlaw. Me and you all day. All day. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Off play action. Lawrence. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down.
53's the Mike. 53. Check 53. Not here. Mike, go.
Back to throw. Lawrence over the middle, complete. That's Terry. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Well, he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th. Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
First and 10 at the 32-yard line.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here we go. Ready.
Darnold. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Denver has a first down on the 15-yard play. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Darnold now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now they'll run on the draw. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Go sack. 44 is the mic. It's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day. Slam, slam, slam.
And to give this time to the tailback. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13.
No gain on the play. Brings up 3rd and 13.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Back to throw, Darnold. And that will be incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. On 1st and 10, Lawrence. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And this one will be taken up. They'll spot it right at the 7. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. Throwing the out route and complete. That's Terry. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. So that last play gives him a little more space now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line. From the gun, Lawrence. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Terry. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Check three, check three, check three. Check, lucky.
Instead of running, Darnold's going to throw this thing. And it's caught. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. It's a pickup of 12. Second play in a row with a 12-yard gain.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Flushed out right. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
It's now 3rd and goal.
From back at the 3 now. This is 3rd and goal.
Hey, come on, now. Switch. Man, Eddie. Switch. Here we go.
Darnold from the gun. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
Intended for Robbie Anderson. Incomplete. It's 4th and goal at the 3-yard line.
Well, they could just run this clock out, but here is the field goal unit on 4th down. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And his kick is good. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. This is taken at the 3.
There we go.
Today's final score.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Broncos, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. They will hit the road next week for a date with the Oakland Raiders. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, the loss here will move them back to 500 at 3-3. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against Jacksonville. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
all these trips, I had to go and get a passport. I'm just trying to live, I don't know what these mad for. I just signed a deal and got a really big bag for it. Still at your mama crib ain't getting money, you gotta ask for it. I'm tired of complaining, I got up and changed my situation. Looking at the view outside, I thought I would never make it. Every day they take, but that don't stop the money making. If you want it, go and take it, ain't no point in hesitating. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind. I don't wanna by the nighttime.